America is currently surging military assets into the Middle East, rushing aircraft carriers and launching missiles to contain a regional crisis. Yet, halfway across the world, Beijing is converting this exact chaos into its own strategic leverage. This shift is unexpected because of China's high degree of exposure to energy markets. Beijing currently imports more oil than any other country on the planet. Logically, a conflict near the Strait of Hormuz should trigger an energy shock that destabilizes the Chinese economy. But while Washington spends billions of dollars to manage the immediate crisis and protect global shipping, China is not mobilizing its military. Instead, Beijing is using this window to secure energy partnerships and expand its regional footprint without the costs of direct military intervention. While the United States manages the security of the current energy landscape, it is inadvertently creating an opening for China to position itself for the next several decades. For decades, Washington's influence in the Middle East rested on a specific deal. The United States provided extensive military protection, and in exchange, regional partners supported American strategic interests. That arrangement is no longer the only option. Regional powers like Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates are now diversifying their partnerships, building ties with multiple outside actors at once. This was evidenced in 2023, when China brokered a diplomatic agreement between two long-standing rivals, Saudi Arabia and Iran. Beijing achieved this breakthrough by leveraging its role as the region's primary buyer of oil and a major supplier of technology, rather than offering defense guarantees. These nations are not necessarily choosing China over America. But their decision to end their exclusive reliance on Washington weakens American influence across the region. While the United States spent trillions over 2 decades on military operations to ensure oil security, China directed its capital toward domestic infrastructure and future energy technology. Today, China produces approximately 80% of the world's solar panels, and Chinese companies now manufacture more than 70% of the world's lithium-ion batteries. Modern energy security is increasingly defined by the control of supply chains for green technology, rather than the physical control of oil fields. Because China has turned this technology into a global export industry, it has become the primary alternative for countries seeking to stabilize their energy grids during oil disruptions. Consequently, when conflicts make Middle Eastern oil supplies appear unstable, the geopolitical value of China's industrial base increases. The United States maintains a defense budget of over $900 billion, while China's estimated military spending is roughly $300 billion. However, sustained kinetic conflict is expensive. It consumes financial resources, demands constant political attention, and can create deep divisions at home. During the years the U.S. was focused on regional stabilization in the Middle East, China built the world's largest manufacturing sector and a vast high-speed rail network. This industrial capacity is now supporting a push to reduce the world's dependence on the US dollar for international trade. China and several Middle Eastern nations are exploring energy transactions settled in alternative currencies, specifically the Chinese yuan. The dollar remains the dominant global currency, but every transaction that bypasses it slowly chips away at America's financial leverage. By focusing on trade routes and manufacturing networks, Beijing is gaining influence while the United States exhausts its resources on regional management. The current deployment of aircraft carriers to the Middle East remains a high-cost intervention in a region where influence was once guaranteed. This mobilization consumes resources that are increasingly diverted from other spheres of competition. The United States still holds major advantages, including its financial system, its research universities, and the world's strongest military. Yet China is moving to occupy the space around those strengths, positioning itself as the indispensable economic partner to much of the developing world. This conflict shows that the mechanics of global power are recalibrating. Influence is now built through automated ports, battery factories, and trade ledgers. In the 21st century, the nation that wins may not be the one that fights the most wars. It may be the one most prepared to dominate the supply chains when the fighting stops.